Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my secrets to becoming a consistent trader. I've been trading for over 20 years, mostly on futures, for indexes, and for Forex. And I've been doing pretty well because I've been trading for over 20 years. So if you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio so you can view our positions and progress, not just for our recent 2K 5X challenge, but also for our model portfolio as a whole. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button. So by the end of this video, you should understand one of my secrets to becoming a consistent trader for a long period of time. So let's talk about this. So it's pretty easy. If you look at it, basically saying FOMO, right? The fear of missing out, right, is one of the biggest traps for most traders. That is why for me, that is one of my rules. I never ever chase. I wait for my setups all the time. So let's talk about this. So this is the last week for Bitcoin. As you can see, it's been in a channel. So the high is here, the low is here. This is one big inside bar. If you've been following us on Twitter and on Telegram and on YouTube, you understand that this is one of the charts that I show all the time, just to let people know like what kind of a day we are in. So this is where the problem really comes in for a lot of people, because of the fact that this is how most of the year is. It's just that when people think of Bitcoin or any other instrument really taking off, going to the moon, they think that it happens all the time. But actually, the numbers say that it doesn't. So out of the 250 trading days out of the year, you might not trade all that much because you have some vacation time, holidays, etc. Even for cryptos, you have family and friends. You're not going to be trading, 250, 300 days out of the year. Maybe you are. I don't. I generally trade about 200 days out of the year. And in those 200 days, what I've come to realize over 20 years is that you're going to have 50, 60 days when you can have very big ranges, right? So basically this here is not the norm. This is one of those 50, 60 days where you have a very, very large range for one day. Then you're going to have about another 40, 50, 60 days where you're going to have very, very small range, like non-existent range. And then the rest of the time, the 80 to 120 days that make up the other days are going to be like what we've had over the last couple weeks. For the last week, which is very like average range. So it's going to be, like around what it should be. And so the idea and the challenge really is to become a consistent, profitable trader is that can you make money even when the ranges are just average? Or are you one of those traders that can only make money when there's lots of range? Does range save you? Right? And the reason why I say that, that's what happens with FOMO, is that when you enter a trade, right, at a bad price, right, up or down, right, the only thing that can help you is range. It has to keep on going. Because if not, if you're late to the party, right, then you're dead. Because basically you are Lilo, last in, last out. So it's hard to be first in, first out, FIFO, right? But, you have to make a choice, whether you're either first in, right, first out, right? Or you can be last in, but you can be first out, right? Or you can be, but you don't want to be, the L's, right? You don't want to be first in, last out, and you don't want to be last in and last out. That is the worst. So let's talk about this. Right. So the idea really is that in the past week, right, have you made any money? So as the week has gone by, what has Bitcoin been doing? So Bitcoin right now, currently as it stands, about 9,200. It's down about 1.44% for the week. And I am up almost 12%. I've made 7 trades, 7 winners in a row, 3 really good winners, decent winners for a day, 2.8%, 4%, 3.5%, and then very, very small winners. 0.4%, quarter percent, almost 0.1%. But the idea, though, is that you're going to keep on going along slowly. That's really the key to become a consistent trader. You're not going to be right all the time. This has been a very good week for me. I've been lucky at times, but I've also been unlucky at times, and that's what we're going to talk about here as well. So basically, everything evens out, right, in the end. But I'm going to talk about why I am such a good trader and what I can teach you, one of the secrets. So the idea really is to have a plan, right? So failing to plan is planning to fail. So I wake up every day on a very consistent basis. I get myself ready. I go to the gym. I have some coffee. I stretch a little bit. I eat a little something. I warm up. I look at the charts. I see where things are going to go. I relax a little bit. Take some deep breaths. I don't just wake up, go in front of the computer, turn it on, look at the charts, and just start trading, right? Because I need to have a plan. So what I do is I have to mindfully sit down and think of the plan. Like, what am I going to do today, right? Am I going to go short? Am I going to go long? What are the ranges? Where are my targets? How big of my stop loss should it be? What are my goals, right? How much money can I lose today? How much money do I want to make today, right? Those are all part of the questions that come into a plan. And that's very, very important, right? And you also have part of the plan is that you have to have rules, right? And one of my major rules, and this is one of my secrets, is that don't pay a higher or lower price than your last exit. This is especially true for day traders most of the time, and even swing traders, because this is where FOMO comes in. Because what happens is that you get into an entry, right? You start making a little bit of money, long or short, right? And then something happens, you get a little bit scared, and then you get out. And then it takes off on you, and it starts going. And then now you're like, oh man, I'm gonna miss out on this move. I'm gonna miss out on this move. And then you go right back in there. You pay a higher price, right? And then sometimes you might actually get kicked out at the price that you originally got out at. And now you have a loser, right? So the little winner that you made now becomes a loser. So now you're break even for the day, or at worst, you have a loss for the day because you chased. Because the understanding is that, today is not that day. Today is not the day that it's going to run. Because on average, right, only 20%, 25% of the days are days that it runs. So you can't have running days every single day, right? So we don't know when those days are going to come. But until they come, until it goes on a run, right, you don't jump off. You stay patient, stay disciplined. And if you do jump off, you don't pay a higher price. Because if it's not one of those days, if it's not one of the 25%, think about that, 1 in 4 chance, maybe 1 in 5 chance, that's going to be one of those days. If it's not one of those days, you're going to lose money. So I hope you remember the chart from before. I was actually doing this mindfully because I didn't want anyone to cheat. So let's look at our first one. So let's look at the day one. So basically, we had a big run to the downside. This is overnight action. It comes, it comes, it comes. I could have gotten in over here, but I didn't want to get in when it was so close to the red over here. I really wanted to see a bounce. It came in. I could have gotten in here, but I kind of waited a little bit. I got here at my price, and this is where luck came in because immediately it came in. So this is where also FOMO comes in. Because if you didn't get in a price anywhere along here and you got filled and you wanted to chase it and you got filled over here, right? You had to be aware that this level here, 9,400, is major resistance. So that means that if you got in at 9,203, 9,250, right, how much money can you make? That's the key. So I got in here, right, this is day one. So this is day two. If you got in here late, look what happens. Basically, it doesn't even get to 9,401, right? I ended up getting out, right? I think I got out right around here, over here overnight. It never hit it. I thought I was going to hit 94. It didn't. That was my target. It got close, and then I took profits. And then it started going back down, right? So that's where it saved me because of the fact that because I got out over here, right, around I think it was around 9,100, something like that, and I don't want to pay a higher price. So if it goes back up, I don't want to pay 9,300, right? I just got out at like 9,200. So why am I going to pay a little bit more money, right, to try to make it up to 9,400 again? So I just waited. So that's day two. So here is day three. So this is overnight action. So I wake up, it's right here. It's right at 9,400. So what am I supposed to do? Am I really going to expect it to break out? Maybe, right? But it never really gives me an opportunity to do so and I think this was a Friday, so I actually ended up I stopped trading because usually on Friday nights I go out with some other traders and we have a happy hour to celebrate a good week or even a bad week. So this is day 4. I wake up, market goes higher, it goes back low, bounces off the 200 EMA for me. I get in at a decent price, right? It goes to almost 9,400. So here is where the action is. So if you don't make the move here, where are you going to catch it? Over here, right? And then get hit at around that 9,400, because that's what ended up happening. So that's the key, right? Is that fear makes the wolf bigger than he is. So what happens is that when we miss out on a move, right, because we got out or we were a little bit hesitant, right, what ends up happening is that the moves always seem bigger. Like, oh my God, there's going to be a giant wave to the upside or a giant wave to the downside. And that is where we have to get ourselves out of the mindset that here is a big, big, giant move. Here is a tsunami. Because most of the time, it's not like that. And that's what we have to understand. That we have to take this from a mathematical perspective, right? That only 20%, 25% of the days are going to be big waves. The rest of the time are going to be middle to small waves. So we can't keep on chasing, right? Because here's day 5. Because same thing, here's the blue line, here's the red line. Everything is inside action for one day. The high 97.50, the low 8,700, everything is in between. So it goes to 9,400, it comes back lower. I got out over here. So then it comes out back down here, 92.50. I get back in because now I'm getting back in at a lower price, because that's how you're going to make money, right? Because it's not going higher. So I'm going long. But then here, this time, it never makes it to 9,400. I take a very small profit. I take a short, right, underneath the 200. So here before, I entered above the 200 EMA. And then here below, I enter below the 200 EMA. So I try to stay consistent in my trading. So there's almost a 2-hour window where I'm not making any money. I'm actually a little bit of a break even, sometimes a small little loser. But I'm okay. The next day comes in, and same thing here. I get a little bit lucky here because now it goes down. Oh, I'll take it back here. Here I got unlucky. So I talk about luck and unlucky. So on 2 of the trades, I got lucky because when I got in right away, I'd say one really lucky period. One luck because the next bar just took off. This bar here, it actually was over 2 hours before it went down. So that's just regular trading. But here, overnight action here, this big bar here, my stop loss was right here. But because there's so much action here, I actually got filled at a very bad price, right? And that happens. So that's unlucky. So one lucky part and one unlucky part. So here I enter a trade. It goes down. It goes down, 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 down. But here I have targets, right? So I ended up getting out at 8,900. So if you're chasing here, right, what's going to happen afterwards? This is day 5. So here's the opening of the day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Starts going down, starts going my way. I get out. I go to bed, right? And look what happens. Boom. It starts to come back up again. So where are you going to make your money? If you keep on chasing, if you thought it was going to keep on breaking down to below, you're going to get hurt. So I got out at 8,900. I wake up and it's going sideways for a while. I enter at 89.59 and it goes down. Here is where I made a mistake because I could have taken profits a little bit quicker, but I didn't. So I waited a little bit too long, hoping that it would go here. That was my mistake. And because of that, what I ended up doing was I ended up not trading the rest of this day over here. So before I went to bed, I put in a little order, but I just decided not to track it. And so that's what happened over here. So that's day 7, which is, day 7 is late last night going into this morning. So here's a little wedge that formed. So that's going to be another one of my videos about how I use wedges and triangles. I use them in a little bit of a different way. So I saw a wedge formation happening. You can see a pop one way or the other, but the market trend is to the upside. I put an order up to the top. I got filled overnight at 9060.5 exactly. My stop limit was at 9060, and I had a limit of so basically my trigger price was 9060, and I had a limit up to 9065, and I got filled at 9060.5. So that was a very good fill on my part. So if you miss this move up here in the early morning, so you wake up here and you wake up, and then where are you going to go, right? If you keep on chasing, right, or waiting for a better price, it's going to be hard to get back in, right? And that's really the key, is that, you know, your entries and your exits from your previous trades do make a difference, right? So one of my rules when I'm day trading or even when I'm swing trading is that I don't pay a higher or lower price, depending on direction, than my last exit, right? Unless I go short. So if I go long and I go short, I can pay different prices. But if I'm going long and long and long, I can't keep on paying higher, higher, higher prices as I'm going higher and higher and higher. Because then, why did I get out? Right? Because I got out for two reasons, right? Number one is I think I can get in at a better price, right? That's why I get out, right? Or number two, I think it's going to go down, right? So I want you to think about that. So if it goes back down, why are you getting back in, right? So why did you get out in the first place, right? You know, so you got out for two reasons, because you can get back in at a better price, or because you think it's going to go down. So if it keeps on going higher and higher and higher, right? Why are you chasing, right? And that's really the key. Right? So that's why, you know, to end this video, it's really the idea that never let your fear decide your future, right? You are the captain of your own ship. You make your decisions. All the choices are yours. No one forces you to do anything, right? So what you have to do is you have to control your fears, right? Because the fear here is of not making any money, right? You're supposed to be trying to make money, right? Not be afraid of not making any money. So those are negatives, right? So we want to think of in a positive way. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you understood one of my secrets. It's one of the hard things for a lot of traders to do, though. It's one of the hardest. That's why I started to make this video as really lesson number one, right? Is that don't pay a higher or lower price than your last exit. So thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.